Yeah, what up, YouTube? It's your boy Shaky. So today we're gonna be talking about a PvP topic. Just so you guys know, you guys might be confused when I'm opening a BDO video. If you guys remember, we're gonna be covering BDO for the last month for the game. So until then, we're gonna still talk about it and post stuff. But by the way, guys, we are gonna be streaming today. Also, we're giving away 100 Elyon keys, so tune into the stream if you guys would like a chance at a key. I do want to talk about the changes they are promoting as of recent. They are doing big changes, and in my opinion, it looks like it's taking a lot of people to quit for them to push, but in the meantime, this is good. So what this says here, it was a dev note posted by PA. Pretty much says, in the case of class balance, it seems if you want class A fixed in the meantime, fixed class B or fixed class C, give a lot of feedback so that you can pinpoint what you want. It's hard when everyone has different feedback. If you give feedback with one unified voice, we will make sure that we can improve. Also, I think it will be helpful if you guys discuss changes in detail, rather than simply asking for a buff for your class. So, luckily I've been PvPing for a long time, and similarly with the wizard video, we pretty much said whether it was a problem, and I asked you all to give feedback. So similarly in this video, when it's up and ready, you all are going to post in the comments any feedback. If anything is good, I'll put a heart on it. Well, people will also like your feedback, and it's going to be a huge feedback mine for PA to understand. So I think it's good that they're coming out and talking about it and being honest that they need feedback. I've actually made a little bit of a rubric here of what I'm going to go off of. But let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to have timestamps and everything. The main issue with PvP in BDO right now is PvP in BDO since Succession and forward has resulted in the game throwing away outplay. It's promoting gear checks to matter more, and it's throwing away class diversity by promoting a class check. You pretty much have to play X class out of 6 classes to perform in PvP. And we have 20 plus, so it's just frustrating everyone that PvPs. And I think this is because there is a lack of understanding in BDO's mechanics, which is resulting in bad changes. But the mechanics of this game pretty much simplified. It's damage, CC fishing, SA rotations, and recently it's the mobility creep. All of this has to have a factor of why the game is going in a downward spiral for balance. These are kind of the issues of why the game is going in this direction, but it's really a lot deeper than that. So, at the end of the day, BDO, it can't be perfectly balanced, but it can be better balanced. And at where we're at right now, there is no reason for it to be so imbalanced. It's just too much. It's way too imbalanced. And it's so much imbalanced that people can't enjoy their classes they want to play. In large scale, they have to play a certain class, or even in 1v1, it's so imbalanced. There's just no outplay anymore. Problem number one is that there seems to be really bad give and take between classes. And I'm talking about the mechanics here. So let's go ahead and compare a Guardian in large scale, and even in 1v1, compared to a Musa, for example, right? And this is going to be a big topic here. So let's just talk about this, right? You take a look at Guardian, okay? She has access to a permanent SA rotation, whether she's Succession or Awakening. She has so many protections that she has 30 plus protected skills. An Awakening Musa does not have a permanent rotation. There are gaps in the kit. Awakening Musa nowadays can rotate SA quite often, but at some point, he has to do a frontal guard, he has to make a wrist to land a CC, or he has to do Crush Crusher in large scale that has an unsafe gap in it where they get CC out of. There's something there, right? We take a look at grabs. Musa doesn't have a grab. Guardian has a grab. As a matter of fact, her grab is a super armor. Also, if she misses her grab, it's protected. We take a look at tankiness. Musa dies in 1 second to magic classes. Guardian can at least live for a little bit and dump some damage out. Musa doesn't have the AoE of a Guardian. Guardian can AoE all day. and provide slows. And she can self-heal herself. We talk about mobility. Well, I'm just going to say it's simple. Guardians love to complain that their class is, slow and all this. But I'm going to actually pull out a clip here on stream. And I'm going to show you guys a clip of a Guardian outrunning a Musa. And I'm literally chase animation canceling. I'm not slowed. And it's just getting out of hand at this point. It's really hard to say. So here we have me playing Musa. And this is the mobility creep issue in large scale, right? Like there's no give or take here. See this? Like, why can a Guardian that has a permanent protection, has better damage than me, has a SA grab, has heals, slows, why can she also escape a battle? That's supposed to be Musa's thing. And that's the issue with give or take. There's a very clear and cut and dry issue with PA not understanding the mechanics of their own game. And it shows with just that little comparison. You can do the same comparison with Nova to Tamer. You literally can. Why play Tamer when you can play Nova? It's the same comparisons across the board, and that's why we have such a class disparity. Going forward, even with the round table thing, PA wants to keep buffing classes, and like I said, this cannot happen. We are at those consequences now. There's too much damage in the game. Things are unreactable. And the permanent SA thing, we're going back, Back when BDO first had a thing, we didn't have permanent SA. And then they added it in, and then it promoted gear checking, and then PDO did like a worldwide nerf. They nerfed every class and made the game, more cut and dry, but it made the game more balanced in a sense. They just had to update a few classes, but then they added succession, and that turned the entire balance upside down. So, that's the main point I want to say. It's the give or take. If you're going to give a class really high damage, then it cannot also be tanky. If you're going to give a class really high mobility, then it's got to have damage and be squishy. There has to be balance. It can't have everything. That's the main point I want to say. Problem number 2, we're going to talk about the huge damage imbalance in the game. This is a big one. Problem is that there is so much damage, and BDO and PA are in this constant struggle of trying to balance damage. And they've continually buffed and buffed and buffed, and they can't seem to get the balance, right? They can't get it. And there is a reason for this. And this is going to be a hard pill to swallow for PA, but they put themselves here, and I'm going to tell you why. Right? Like, we have so many one-shot mechanics and things like that. The problem is, there are too many variables to balance the game for damage. Let me explain. Number 1, accuracy and evasion. Accuracy and evasion in itself is RNG. Okay, well, we can stop right there, right? Let's keep going. Every class has a different base stat, evasion, and accuracy. Also, this is hidden to us. We can't see it. And it's also different per class. Okay? So, not only is there accuracy and evasion, but every class has different base stats to it. And it's different per class, and we don't see this. The next thing is going to be, every class has different evasion and accuracy passives. It's different across the board. Every class has different evasion modifiers on their skills, and they have different accuracy modifiers on their skills. The next problem is, we don't even know if the tooltips are actually accurate. For example, and I doubt even PA even knows that. I doubt they do. Big example of this is recently we saw Ninja Evasion get patched. The tooltip was saying that they got 1% evasion per level. Then they patched it to 0.25%. We don't even know if our tooltips work properly. At the end of the day, PA has to go internally, test every tooltip in the game, and make sure they're working. Because I can guarantee you a lot of shit isn't working, and it's contributing to this balance problem. The class-to-class modifiers. Go ahead and move my chat block off. This is what they're showing, right? So let me just explain this. So all of this right here, right? This was before the change. This is what they did after, okay? Now, this table shows what the change was in percentage, okay? Now, I don't know exactly how this works, okay? But this is a huge issue in the game. Gigantic issue that it cannot stay. For 5 years, Musa has had a bad matchup into Warrior, okay? Okay, I'm going to go to Musa. I'm going to go to Warrior. I'm negative 3% this update. This is an update they made. Okay, Musa also has a bad matchup into Valkyrie. Okay, I got nerfed by 12%. These are just small examples of them not understanding their game. And I can guarantee you, if you guys look at this, you guys might be playing your own class. You'll probably see this with your class too. Now, I don't know how these numbers work and how it works, but we can clearly see there are huge margins with the damage here. And that's not balanced across the board. It's just random per class. Magic, ranged, and melee damage on top of the class modifiers. Certain classes are tankier to magic, range, and melee. I want to ask PA an honest question. With all these variables for damage being in the game, how in the living hell are you going to balance damage ever? You can't. It's literally impossible. There are too many variables to balance damage in this game. Because every class is going to tell you a different story. Gear being different. Evasion and accuracy being different. You can't pinpoint the problem because there are too many variables. The only solution to fixing this is to simplify the game. So a long time ago, when BDO first released and they added Awakening, every class had super armor rotations. Every single class. And we also had CC up the ass. Do you want to guess what the big problem was? The problem was that it was promoting gear checks, and at the time, there was a big pay-to-win controversy. So it was making the game pay-to-win in a sense. Like at the time, not anymore. I don't think the game's pay-to-win anymore at all. You can honestly catch up now as a non-pay-to-win player. But back then, it was a big issue. So what was the solution? They nerfed SA and CC across the board, and they also changed the CC system. I don't think we need to change the CC system at all. I think it's perfect the way it works right now. Aside from resets being a thing, which is a separate topic. But bottom line, permanent SA cannot exist in the game. And this is the result of continually buffing classes. We're around circle again. Every single current Flavor of the Month class is Flavor of the Month because not only do they have high damage, but they also have perma SA rotations. Why it's bad for the game? Like I said, it promotes gear checking. If every class is perma SA, you're just slapping SA, then it's about which class has more damage, and it's about who has more gear. Permanent SA needs to just be gutted out of the game. Do you see the trend here? These are all new patches to the game that have contributed to perma SA. And we've already seen why it's bad, so why are we going back to it? We shouldn't be. Get rid of permanent SA. It's bad for gear checking, it's bad for large scale, it's bad for 1v1s, it's bad in every single scenario of the game. Permanent SA rotations need to be looked at. It's also really bad for outplay. The mechanics I was talking about earlier, CC fishing, grabs, SA rotate, things like that. CC fishing is imbalanced across the board. What is CC fishing? Okay, so what that is when you're PvPing and you're rotating super armors, right? You're trying to land a CC, okay? And in a way, this is imbalanced across the board, is that not every class has a really quick CC for 1v1 play. And I'm going to talk about large scale play too, but 1v1 play, right? Is this. I have this. This skill goes through frontal guard. Also, it's really fast, as you can see, okay? It's really fast, right? I also have the block jump. Pretty fast. I also have Sand Slicer. Pretty fast but unsafe. I also have Purge Cancel, which is pretty much safe if you time it properly. Some of these tools I'm displaying, not every class has this. Let's say hypothetically in a world You remove grab from Tamer. How does she CC you? You remove grab from Lan. How does she CC you? He doesn't. They're reliant on it. For this game to get balanced, I think every class in the game should have a couple options that are unsafe and 1 or 2 options that are safe in 1v1 for 1v1. It's a core mechanic of the game that I think PA does not realize. That every class should have it. Every class should have a small tool that is good for catching people and certain small gaps that are quick. Every class should have it. Okay? Now, large scale. Not every class has a viable, safe option to do in large scale that's protected. For example, Suck Hashashin. I'll swap the Suck for this. Okay? Now, Suck Hash is an interesting class, okay? Suck Hash loves to do this. Tornado, get in, Dominion. Now look at the hitbox in that Dominion. Huge hitbox. Really good for massive floats in large scale or massive knockdowns, right? Not every class has this tool. Why? It's a mechanic of the game. Like I said, there should be at least one protected option in large scale that a class can do this. And one unsafe option. Only certain classes can do massive floats. Only certain classes have quick CCs. Only certain classes have grabs. These are major imbalances in the game. Solution, every class should have a quick 1v1 option. Right? Every class should have a good large scale option with the massive CC and floats. That right there will fix a lot of class balancing issues alone, just mechanically. Grabs. And I love this topic. Okay, I love this topic about the grabs. I have played Musa for a very long time and didn't have a grab. And then I played Awakened Hash, and it's like, I can see why the grabs are so broken. Grabs in this game is a huge problem on a multiple layers of levels. And I'm going to compare, for this portion only, I'm going to compare the grabs to fighting games, and I'm also going to show you guys examples of this. Grab as a whole, it's a very overpowered mechanic because it goes through forward guard SA. It's a low risk option that you don't have to think. Okay. Also, for the most part, these grabs are unreactable. They're not reactable. You have to predict they're going to come. Like, you can't see a grab on the screen and then get out of the way. Right? Also, some grabs are safe on miss. Example, Guardian having a SA grab, Hashashin being able to cancel the grab animation with the teleports. Like this, they can instantly cancel the whiff animation. And Warrior having such a small whiff punish window that it's not punishable. But then, like, you see a striker do a grab, and a striker does a grab, they miss, and then they do an entire jump back animation. They just do an entire jump back animation, and they're punishable. That right there is the rubric we need to go off of for grab. Now, you also have grabs, classes that don't have grabs at all. For such an overpowered mechanic, that is game breaking. The solution, it already exists, right? It's nothing new. Fighting games have grabs. And I don't know why BDO has not adopted these solutions, right? Like, it's already been done. Why hasn't BDO just copied it? I don't know. Maybe they don't know, so we'll just talk about it. You can't give a grab to every class in BDO. In fighting games, every character has a baseline grab, okay? It can't be done in BDO. Why? It's going to be like slow stacking in large scale, like you're going to go large scale PvP. And then you're going to be rotating SA, and then everyone's going to be mashing grab. It's going to be really annoying, and it's going to piss everybody off, right? So let's not give every class a grab. Let's not do that. The solution is balancing the grabs. Let's balance the classes who have grabs. By class identity, Berserker and Striker should not be affected by these changes. So I'm going to say it again. Berserker and Striker should not be affected by this. Why? Because Berserker and Striker, it's their identity. Even if you go to fighting games, there are certain classes that revolve around, or certain characters that revolve around grabs, like Zangief from Street Fighter, Potemkin from Guilty Gear Strive, Broly from Dragon Ball FighterZ, right? Now I'm going to go ahead and get into the changes I propose to balance grabs in the game. I'm going to go ahead and boot up a fighting game so I can demonstrate this, okay? So I'm going to pop it open really quick. Okay guys, we're back. We've loaded up Dragon Ball FighterZ to demonstrate the grab problem, and this is the only section where I'm going to talk about grabs and compare it to a fighting game. Now, if you guys don't know, I play a lot of fighting games, my history, get into it. So, grabs. Like I was saying, grabs in BDO kill you. This is the grab in this game. Ready? Did you see his health bar? Here, I'll do it again. Me spending meter. You see his health bar? He's not dead. Okay? He's not dead. Now, let me show you guys what it takes to kill someone with a grab in a fighting game. You ready? Now compare this to BDO. I'll even turn my inputs on for you guys, okay? Alright. That's what it takes to kill somebody in this game. I'm just saying. Off of a grab. And you know what's funny about that combo I just did? It did not start with a grab. It started with this low skill. Now look, I'm going to do that same exact combo route, and it's going to start with a grab, okay? I'm going to replicate BDO here, right? Your SA forward guard, right? You're blocking. This is the grab. It goes through block. Ready? Watch this. Okay, there's the grab. So as you can see, the damage scaling, right? Didn't do nearly as much damage. I don't understand why in a game where you don't give every class a grab, and then for the classes that have a grab, they fucking instantly kill you off of a grab. And it gets worse than that. It's going to get way worse than that, okay? It gets way worse than that. There's more layers to grabs in BDO. Bottom line, grabs in BDO should have damage scaling because, like I said, you can't give them to every class. Put damage scaling on grabs to where it should take maybe three grab combos to kill a player. That would be more balanced. You implement this change, it's going to balance 1v1s, but guess what? In large scale, it's not going to matter. Why? Because when you grab somebody in large scale, you are going to have more people hitting you in large scale, and you're still going to die. So it's a fix. You'll fix 1v1s, possibly even small scale. Maybe even small scale, the scaling can be good enough where maybe even 3 people you might be able to get up. But if you have like 8 people hitting you, you're going to die. Since not every class can have a grab, damage scaling. That's one idea to balance them. Just one idea. Again, Zerker and Striker should not apply. It's their class identity. Block jumps / grabs are not reactable. That's what we were talking about in BDO. In BDO, the reason how I know they don't understand this concept, the block jump on Hashashin used to be instant, and then they nerfed it to be reactable. And as of recently, guess what? The block jump on Hashashin is still not reactable for most people. Why should grabs be reactable? Because you should be able to see them coming and outplay. It goes through frontal guard. Like I said, the solution exists in fighting games. It's honestly baffling to me. I even have to fucking have this conversation about grabs. The solutions have already been provided. I don't know why BDO hasn't adopted the solutions. Grabs in BDO are too fast. Okay? Let me give you an example of a fast grab. So Goku has 3 grabs. Okay? He has a light, medium, and a heavy. Okay? This grab, I cannot combo off of, okay? Unless I do that, which does low damage, okay? But the point I'm showing is it looks like this. You can't react to it, you see? You have to know that's coming. And a reactable grab would look like this. See the difference? You can see the grab coming. Bottom line is, not only are grabs too powerful in BDO, but they're unreactable. Okay? So if you don't want to do damage scaling, the second solution is to make grabs reactable. Again, if you're not a Zerker, if you're not a striker, it shouldn't apply to you. Now, you might be asking in this game, why is there a reactable grab and an unreactable grab? Well, when you're mid-screen, you don't get a combo. Corner, no combo. But if you do the medium version, I get a combo. Okay? I get a combo. That's why there are different grabs. This is called balance, PA. This is what balance looks like. You know, it's another solution to the grabs thing. Grabs gotta be reactable. Like, you see this? Like, this is why this is nasty, right? This is why it's reactable. It leads to a fucking big damage combo, right? BDO? This is BDO. I just killed you, haha. It's not balanced. That doesn't take skill. Anyone can do that. So, yeah. But if you're not a Zerker or Striker... So, in this game, like I was saying, everyone has a grab. In this game, this is a grab. Right? This is a grab. Now, they're reactable, first and foremost. Right? They're pretty slow, right? Now, if I set my opponent to... Let me just do this really quick. So, enemy settings. I have set my opponent to do a grab. Okay? See this? He's going to do a grab every time. Watch this. It's called the grab tech. Put this in BDO. But guess what? The only way a grab tech works is if the grabs are reactable. Add some sort of grab break option to the game. Something like that. Something of the sort. That's going to balance the non-grab classes. If I can parry a grab, that's huge. The final thing I want to talk about grabs is this. Final thing. Grabs have to be punishable on miss. Guardian should not have a SA block or SA grab, right? And Warrior recovery animation is too small. Hashashin should not be able to cancel the grab. And look at Striker for this example. Striker is the perfect example. Striker misses the grab, they do a back animation. They miss, they're unsafe. Now, even in fighting games, when you miss a grab, right? This whole animation, you can see the frame advantage. For like 5/6 of a second, I can't block. That's how BDO needs to be if you miss a grab. See this? There's a punishable window to punish a grab. This is Warrior in BDO. Grab, I'm safe, haha. I miss grab, haha. Grab, right? I miss grab. It's bullshit. We can learn from fighting games BDO. Don't be stubborn. I'm closing BDO now. I'm closing fighters now. Bottom line, there's a lot of solutions they can do to fix grabs in BDO. At all. I have like maybe 2 hours in this class. I also haven't played the game in a month. I want you to look at my stamina bar, okay? Now, just so you guys know for your knowledge, and I'm sure you guys have seen it, Warrior can infinitely move around without a stamina problem. Okay? Sorry if you guys heard that. That's my humidifier. Anyway, so the bottom line is this is the mobility imbalance in the game. Okay. Okay, now look, I don't know. I don't play the class. Look at how much I just moved around. Okay, look at my stamina when it happened. Literally nothing happened to my stamina. Okay, right now, if I was actually a warrior in main and you had to play the class, I would be moving around forever. Okay. The other thing is too, warrior also has super desyncy movement. For example, I have 240 FPS, and I mean, you don't fucking react to that. It's literally instant transmission. The next thing would be, oh look, no skill by the way. Anyways, like I was saying, class was broken for movement. Anyways, by the way, the grab, right? You see how small, this is what I was talking about in terms of, let's go to Hashashin, just for a quick second, right? Now look, Hashashin moves pretty damn fast, right? We all know that. But, can he do it forever, though? That's the real question. Look at my stamina, though, right? Look at my stamina. It eventually will run out. Okay. Not only is warrior faster, but it doesn't run out of stamina. On top of that, it has a Perma SA rotation. Even Suck Hash doesn't have that. It has a SA forward guard block, and it has a grab. Now let's go to Musa. Once I'm here, I'm dead. Doesn't go back out, no matter what I do. Okay. Okay. Now look. Warrior again has a grab, unreactable movement, and it doesn't have stamina problems. Okay, so PA. I know y'all are listening, right? This is a section where I talk about mobility creep. And how you destroyed class identity with Musa and other classes in the game as well. Okay? Like Musa, Meiwa were the fastest classes in the game. Okay, fine. Then you buffed Warrior, where it literally has everything a Musa has but more and moves infinitely. Okay? And you have other classes that are also mobility machines. Yeah. You know, it's a problem. Show the link in your DM? Yeah, sure. Dude. You know what's messed up? This was in 2017. The mobility is even better now. This is a 2017 video. Even looking at that, look at Musa. Okay? I'm fast, I'm fast, I'm fast. I'm obese, I have diabetes. This is where I'm at now, and I can't do anything. Nova moves so fast that the game's engine can't handle it. It looks like desyncing teleports. You can't react to Nova gank right now, currently in the Sage is untrackable. The way they iframe faster than a Sork, and you also can't see where they're going. At least when a like Sork iframes around, it's like you can react to it. Like you can see where the Sork is going. Not really so much with that. Now successions, right? You've given the same mobility to Guardian. Guardian can move as fast as a Musa. Suck Zerker moves as fast as a Musa. You know, class diversity, it's just gone. I don't know what to say. It's the class diversity and mobility creep, it has to be addressed. The only classes that should have mobility should be the classes that are made to be doing high damage. Musa doesn't even have high damage anymore. And Suck Musa specifically, it has the highest accuracy in the game. We're talking about evasion debuffs and 73% accuracy modifiers on blooming. We're talking about 30 to 40% accuracy average on skills. And it's not even the fastest class in the game, but it also it doesn't do damage anymore. And you've given warrior, a class warrior, you've given it mobility, you've given it a grab, you've given it SA forward guard block, you've given it infinite stamina. This is what I'm talking about. You've released Nova. There's no, give or take. Bottom line is, this is the last point I want to make. Give or take. Musa. You want Musa to be the fastest class in the game? Well, okay. We're going to give you some damage to pair it up, but guess what? You're fucking squishy as hell. Does Musa have the fastest mobility? No. Does it have the highest damage? No. Is it squishy? Yes. Does he have a grab? No. Nova. Is she squishy? Sort of. Does she have fastest mobility? Yes. Does she have a grab? Yes. Where is the balance here? Mechanically, your game is flawed. Mechanically, fundamentally, these things aren't balanced. Damage has too many variables. How are you going to balance the game? I think personally, this is my final say in my final segment. And just so you guys know, I have made a full list of this shit. I try to keep it on topic. Bottom line is, I think it's time to cut the shit and balance the game. And stop adding new classes. Just stop. Stop adding new classes to the fucking game. Just stop. Look at the mechanics of the game. Go from there. Let's just look at the base mechanics of the game. Understand how the classes work. Stop basing it off of meaningless data. Like, go to Node Wars. Go to Sieges. Go to Arsha. Go to BA. Watch people fight. Talk to your people that are heavily invested in the community. Don't base it off of silly tournaments that happen, that people win because of their gear, and then the people that actually spend time PvPing aren't the ones giving feedback. That's just what's happening with the recent things. The whole community is just neglected. I'm speaking for the community at this point. The community is literally neglected. Every balance patch that fucking comes with the game, it's frustrating. Like, for example, recently you buffed the EK damage. The whole community was like, what the fuck? Why'd you buff the EK damage? For what? You buff Mystic damage? We're all like, why'd you buff Mystic damage? DK needed buff. She needed mobility patch-ups. Stop adding broken classes. And stop randomly balancing the game. We literally just need a lot of fucking nerfs to the game right now. I'm sorry. It's where we're at. So, I'll say it again. Damage, simplify it. CC fishing. 1v1 tools, large-scale tools for CC fishing. The grab imbalance, fix that. Pick one of the solutions. Please pick one of the solutions. SA rotations, protected CC, like all that stuff. Permanent SA is ruining the game. Stop putting it in. Mobility creep. It's just too much mobility. We clearly need mobility nerfs, right? And you gotta pick a few, right? You're either gonna be damage, tanky, damage, big CC, big mobility, and squishy, or you just can't have it all. And like the hidden stats, are all bullshit. And this is the biggest thing I'm gonna say, and stop ignoring it. Resistance from PvP, remove it. See you next video.